So we were turning this week and we had this lovely piece that we were rounding. Unfortunately it split off the lathe. I had one piece hit me in the chest. Luckily I was wearing my protective equipment. However, I hear a lot of people say that they're going to use wood like this for firewood. I don't like that. So what I'm going to do is we're going to save this and we're going to turn this into a nice piece. So you've seen me there, I marked around the bowl, I've cut the bowl down so it fits in this mould. Just want to make the crack a bit further out. We'll round around the edges so we can get some resin in. Looks at this point like it's going to turn out like a very nice piece. So I'm going to use some boiled linseed oil, and what we're going to do is we're just going to brush it over the wood just to accentuate the grain, just to pop that grain out. I really like to feature the grains in my wood. You can see the difference there with and without. So there we've done them both. Just going to glue them down, make sure they don't move when I pour the resin, because the last thing you want is for the wood to lift when you're pouring. Don't use too much glue because it can be a pain. So we're using a 2:1 resin and we're using a colour called Sea Blue. Now I've not used enough resin in this just yet, but I didn't want to pour more than 2 pints worth. That's obviously a UK metric. Look at that, that looks fantastic. So we've got it mounted. What we're going to use here is we're going to use the carbide rougher. There is a few hours of video here, so I have sped it up, cut pieces out obviously to speed things up a little bit.
We are doing well!
Okay, so we're going to apply some boiled linseed oil to this just to pop the grain of the new wood that's obviously outside of the resin. Going to apply plenty of this, and then once that finished drying and finished setting, we use some sanding sealer. We left this to dry overnight, and we've applied 3 coats of sanding sealer. So we're going to now sand it. Now we're going to sand up to a P2000. We are going to start at a P120. When you are sanding, always double your grit. So P120 would be a P240, and then a P480, and so on and so forth. Don't ever want to do more than double grit, because then you'll end up with tool marks and abrasive marks left. We'll take it nice and slow, and any pressure you apply, you keep that same pressure throughout. A lot of people come unstuck at this point because when they get up to the P2000s they're applying a lot less pressure because they're trying to finish. That's not how you do it. You keep a constant smooth pressure all the way through. Okay, so we're now going to apply some methylated spirit, purely because in the UK that's our version of some of the alcohol used in the States. Over here they do dye it purple, but in this instant that should not affect anything. So we're just going to wipe off any excess sawdust and any shite left behind. So we're going back in with the boiled linseed oil, just as a finisher to make sure we're popping as much grain as we can on this particular piece. So we've done that one. We're now going to use the Resin Yorkshire grit, which is the white one, just to make sure we can get the biggest polish possible. So we've turned it round and we've removed the faceplate. The problem we had, I believe it was in this hole just here, we had a screw break, so I had to drill around that and get the threaded part of the screw out before we could continue. Whilst I do this bit, I'm going to use a combination of the roughing carbide and the finishing carbide, which is the round one. We go in again with the linseed oil and then the sanding sealer, back through the same grits as before, and finishing again with the Yorkshire grit, both the black one and the white one. That was how we turned out. If you like this video, please click the like button. If you'd like to see some more from me, please subscribe and hit the bell. Hopefully I'll see you all soon. I'll see you in a click.